I've been studying the Naropa book. This is going to be ground we've already been over, but I don't know, it's pretty good. This is kind of the heart of the matter, so. This is page 24, where he meets Vajrayogini, the old lady. When things first changed for him. The 12 minor visionary experiences begin with the exhortation by Dorje Nyal Bjorma Vajrayogini to go to Tilopa in order to attain the highest realization and to spread the intrinsic message of the doctrine. Once when Jigsmed Grakspa Abhiyakirti, with his back to the sun, was studying the books on grammar, epistemology, spiritual precepts, and logic, a terrifying shadow fell on them. Looking round, he saw behind him an old woman with 37 ugly features. Her eyes were red and deep hollowed. Her hair was fox-colored and disheveled. Her forehead large and protruding. Her face had many wrinkles and was shriveled up. Her ears were long and lumpy. Her nose was twisted and inflamed. She had a yellow beard streaked with white. Her mouth was distorted and gaping. Her teeth were turned in and decayed. Her tongue made chewing movements and moistened her lips. She made sucking noises and licked her lips. She whistled when she yawned. She was weeping and tears ran down her cheeks. She was shivering and panting for breath. Her complexion was darkish blue, her skin rough and thick, her body bent and askew, her neck curved. She was humpbacked, and being lame, she supported herself on a stick. She said to Naropa, "What are you looking into?" "I study the books on grammar, epistemology, spiritual precepts, and logic," he replied. "Do you understand them?" "Yes." "Do you understand the words or the sense?" "The words." The old woman was delighted, rocked with laughter, and began to dance, waving her stick in the air. Thinking that she might feel still happier, Naropa added, "I also understand the sense." But then the woman began to weep and tremble, and she threw her stick down. "How is it that you were happy when I said that I understood the words, but became miserable when I added that I also understood the sense?" "I felt happy because you, a great scholar, did not lie and frankly admitted that you only understood the words. But I felt sad when you told a lie by stating that you understood the sense, which you do not." "Who then understands the sense?" "My brother." "Introduce me to him, wherever he may be. Go yourself, pay your respects to him, and beg him that you may come to grasp the sense." With these words, the old woman disappeared like a rainbow in the sky. The venerable Naropa reflected on the vision of the old woman with 37 ugly features, and taking each as an object of inspection, he realized that, objectively, samsara is misery, because it contains 37 kinds of dissatisfaction. That subjectively, the body with its 37 impure substances is impermanent and perishable, and that mystically one could come to understand co-emergent awareness through reflecting on the 37 pathways and 37 kinds of creative potentiality. Then he sang, "Samsara is a tendency to find fault with others, an unbearable fire bowl, a dungeon dark, a deep swamp of 3 poisons, a fearful wave of evil lies. 'Tis being caught in a spider's web, or a bird entangled in a fowler's net. 'Tis like being bound hand to neck by Mara, or immersed in a pond of beastliness. 'Tis like a deer chasing a mirage. It is the net of fate, the bee that honey sucks. milking the cow of life, and living neath the fleeting shadows of old age and birth. 'Tis being caught by the Lord of Death's rough-coated dogs, a deer trapped in a snare, a hunter merciless, entanglement in bondage, an unsafe footpath, a wild beast captured in a pit. It is a meadow rich for dichotomic play. A horse of 8 contingencies, gain and loss, fame and disgrace, praise and blame, pleasure and pain. A spearhead beating on a drum, merriment with sharpened fangs. It is a fragile water plant, the intangible reflection of the moon and water, a bubble of bewilderment. Fleeting mist and rippling water, a snake conquering by touch and sight, a taste of honey on a razor blade. It is a tree with poisonous leaves, shooting the poisoned arrow of disturbed emotions and poisoning those afflicted by defects. It is a flame flickering in the wind, untruth, a dream, bewilderment, the waterfall of old age and death. 'Tis Kleshamara, deception's guide. Verily, I must seek out the Guru. With these words, he gave up all his belongings and books. When he announced his intention to seek the Guru, who would reveal the sense to him, the congregation at Nalanda thought, among the former abbots there is no scholar so profound as our Naropa. In performing the duties of an abbot, he explained the doctrine in a holier way than others. When he talked about grammar, logic, sutras, or tantras, he gave superworldly explanations. When he performed the rites of the awakening of an enlightened attitude of confirmation and other initiations, he was unsurpassable in grace. When he instructed those who practiced meditation, he was especially gifted in examining the experiences and realizations. If such an abbot were to go to another country, we should be like fish on dry land. And they all were plunged in despair. Then the head of the department of the Eastern Gate made this request. Peerless and glorious Abhyakirti, the congregation is the root of Dharma. To renounce them is against the Dharma. Stay with us, for our sake, we pray. But Naropa declined. Then the head of the department of the Southern Gate said, the companions in the Dharma are its root. To leave your friends is against the doctrine. Stay with us, we pray. Again, Naropa refused. Then the head of the department of the Western Gate entreated him. The root of the doctrine is the Dharma's discipline, which to give up is action against the Dharma. Stay with us, we pray. This too was of no avail. Then the 500 scholars of Nalanda, together with their patron the king and his ministers, unanimously begged him to stay. Sublime and glorious sage Abhyakirti, we should have no physician, Dharma's embodiment, against the diseases of our blindness and ignorance. So, Saint Abhyakirti, stay for our sake, and look with mercy on Nalanda. The glorious Abhyakirti only said, whatever is born will die, whatever is joined will part. How can we find the path of freedom and immortality in that which only builds up karma? I know all the scriptures which are like the sea. All 5 branches of learning have I mastered, with grammar and epistemology. Yet without a competent guru, the fire of my craving will not die. If my yearning be not stilled by the Guru's grace, which is like the nectar stream of Tantra essence, wide is the ocean despite my attainments, virtues, and supersensible cognitions. I have not seen reality. Therefore I shall rely on Yexpa Roje Vajra and seek firmly for the true Guru. Let this be my answer to the king. Let it must be my answer to the bhikshus and to the scholars. I am a scholar well versed in the 5 branches of learning, but since it is a waste of time to try to turn me from the path of those who have the courage of their convictions, I beg my worthy patrons to allow me to go on. With these words, he shouldered his robe, took his alms bowl by the rim, grasped his staff, and set out toward the east, saying, I shall rely on Vajra and seek for the true Guru. A voice came from the sky. To you the Buddha as Guru will be revealed if you rely on Chakrasamvara. If from today on, Degsmar Korlo, I rely, what shall I not achieve? He bowed to the east and deeply moved, with tears in his eyes, prayed to Tilopa. When he reached Maitong Sambhu's cemetery, he built a grass hut and repeated the 7-syllable mantra, Blukchong, for 700,000 times. The earth trembled, light and a sweet fragrance appeared, and from the sky a voice was heard saying, In the east there lives Tilopa, embodiment of the great bliss of non-dual awareness. Incarnate and Lord of all that lives, seek him, the Guru Buddha. Trusting in this voice, he sought the Guru for a whole month in the east. When he did not find him, he exclaimed, Alas, I sought but have not found the Guru Buddha, for by Mara have I been deceived. Again a voice came from the sky. You will find the Guru Buddha if you seek him, without paying homage to that devil laziness. When therefore he went further east in his search for the Guru, his tutelary deity, Chakrasamvara, assured him, Glorious Abhayakirti, I have given you my grace so that you may find the revered Tilopa. How will you win Buddhahood if you find not the Guru? Search for Tilopa in the east. He is incarnate Buddhahood. The Guru who will release your spirituality. Take then no heed of obstacles. When he had heard these words, he sang, Tilopa, venerable Guru, without you I cannot win Buddhahood. Whether or no I find you, from today I shall heed not life nor body. Why, if undeterred by obstacles, should I not find the promised Guru? Then we do the 24 minor acts of self-denial. So, I don't know, we could do this forever. Maybe we'll talk about so he meets Tilopa. We're talking about the 12 major trials. This chapter, dealing with Naropa's experiences on the path of freedom as a result of subjecting himself to severe spiritual exercises, has 4 sections. His 12 great acts of self-denial in order to attain the instructions in full and so attune his mind to the Guru's spirituality. His exhortation by Tilopa to act by conduct which cannot be expressed in words and thoughts. His understanding of the meaning of coincidence, or the instruction and ultimate identity of awareness developing either into samsara or nirvana. 4. His acceptance of his mission by being exhorted to work for the benefit of sentient beings through a life of compassion that transcends all attempts to fathom it by meditation. I will just do one of these maybe. The ordinary wish-fulfilling gem. We gotta stop.